everyone. Welcome back to the course. In the last video, we explored the closure and how they work in loops. Today, we are diving into one of the most practical and powerful concepts in JavaScript, callback function and arrays method. If you have been following along, you already know about the function, array, and the higher order functions. Today, we are going to bring all of that knowledge together and learn how to work with arrays in a function way using the forEach, map, and filter method. These methods are used everywhere in modern JavaScript, so mastering them is absolutely essential. So let's get started. Actually, before we jump into the array method, let's quickly recap the callback function part. A callback function is a simple function that you can pass as an argument to another function. The receiving function can then call back that function at the appropriate time. Okay. This is the syntax example. You see, here is great is our callback function. We pass it the process user, which then invoke it with the name is Sarah, right? The process user then call this great user, grid. I mean, this one is function, this one is another function, and the function is how it look like. You see, notice the grid and this function call, and actually this is the this is the callback function when you are passing one function to another function. Okay, now why is this important? Because JavaScript built-in array methods use the callback extensively. Let's see how. First is the forEach method. Okay, it was the first option. I mean the forEach. The forEach method is the simplest array method. It executes a callback function for each element in an array. So the syntax actually look like this: array forEach. This array means the list of arrays. Okay, just assume this is the variable or list of array of element. Okay, so then the forEach and then calling the function. Okay, you notice this we calling the function, and this function have element, index, and array. Actually, this callback actually receive those element, index, array, and this element is the current element being processed, and index of the current element. Actually, this was the optional, and this was also optional array. The entire array if we want to insert it. So let's see the practical example. You see, for each the number, console log the number. When you are console print this console log, you get output like this, like the numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and the output actually look like this. Okay, you can also use the index if you want. Actually, most of the use case you also need this index number, the fruit and index actually, and you are used to it when you are using with the real project. So don't worry, just remember it that we can pass it, and other way you get the source code. So whenever you are confused and take this code, I hope you will remember it. Okay, there is the important note: for it does not return a new array. Remember, it just iterate over the existing one. So it's used when you want to perform an action for each element, like logging or updating something. Okay. Our third section is the map method. This one is very, very important, and we are using most of the time this array method, array and filter method. Okay, but map. So this one of the most commonly used array method in JavaScript. Remember, okay. The map method creates a new array by calling a callback function on every element in the original array. Whatever you return from the callback function, callback becomes an element in the new array. Okay, how it look like? It actually look like this. I actually wanted to show you interesting thing here. Remember, just very, very interesting, and it would be a very clean code structure. Suppose another array dot map. Okay, then calling this arrow function and the curly braces. Remember what it does, it also doing the same thing. You can pass any value whatever you want, but remember when you are calling this function that way, then you need to pass exactly same way, same syntax you need to follow. But if you are using the array function, suppose think it was suppose the new array or these fruits. Okay, suppose maybe this is the fruits means the array of elements, right? Then you are calling here the single element. I mean, this map you can get the every items from this array, so it would be a singular. So fruit. Okay. If just want to index something, you can just for understanding purpose, I give it like fruit dot something like name. Okay, you can pass it and you get exact result. But if you are using this, but you can also do the same thing like curly bracket and then return, and then you can pass it. But if you are not using, if it is a single line of code, then you can shortly use without bracket and the return statement. And it's JavaScript understand what you actually try to execute and you get the correct result if you are using this. And this is a valid. You see, there is a no error showing here, right? And this is a valid code structure. And yeah, if you notice, this code is much cleaner than this code. So that's why when you are using the real world project or in the future when I'm showing you the project, you get these types of example lots of. Okay, great job. Okay, so let's see an example where we double each number, double actually number. Okay, then double number dot map, then function, then return the number into two. It's calculated by doing the double. Okay, then 2, 4. This was the your this function. I mean, sorry, this variable with this values as a function, right? And you get the answer from this array, actually this variable. But did you notice your original array is unchanged, right? Actually, so that's why this map return a new array. Actually, this map return the new array. You will, I hope you already understood. So here is a more practical example. So let's say we have an array of user object and we want to extract just the name, not everything. Suppose okay, user list, then function. Okay, so just as I said, we can use it here. Arrow function. Okay, this user, we extract the user only. Then we get the user dot. Did you notice there is a 3 option available, right? Actually, 3 property. Those are properties. The first ID, name, and age. When okay, we can extract the name, and this is the correct. You get all the names from this array like this. Great. And actually, map is perfect when you need to transform each element in an array, and that's why developer use it most of the time. This map method. Now the filter method. The filter method create a new array with only the elements that pass a certain test. The callback function should return a true or false. If it's returned true, the element is included in the new array. If false, it's excluded. Okay. So the syntax actually similar with the map. Exactly, you get the same syntax. Just the name is changed. Method name is changed. Filter forEach. Okay. So let's filter out numbers greater than 3. Okay, there is the numbers and then filter number must be a greater than 3. Then greater than 3 is available for 3 items. If you are using equal, greater and equal, you get 3 also. Okay, so okay, great. It will be like this, equal or greater than 3. Sorry, not there. This was the correct. Okay, anyway. And the okay, so let's see the real world example. Suppose user who are 30, actually we want to filter user who are 30 or older. Okay, so we can use something user 30, 35, 28, 25. And when you are using this, you see greater than equal 30, then it's only show the list of user who's are greater than 30. There is a 2 user are equal or greater than 30. Okay, that's why only 2 user data are printed in. Okay, great. Filter actually incredible. Okay, incredibly useful when you need to select specific element based on a condition. All right. Now the changing method. Here is where things get really powerful. Since map and filter both return a new array, you can change them together if you want. Let's say we want filter user who are 30 and older. and then extract just username. Okay, just the username. So how to do that? You see user, then adult name is with the user filter. Notice this is a filter method, and this method is complete here. Then it's not finished here. There is a no semicolon. It's a dot notation. The map. Okay, this is very common pattern in JavaScript. Okay, we chain, and when you are using the dot notation here, it's called the chaining. If we actually chaining this map with this filter. Okay. We chain methods to transform and filter data in a clean and readable way. Okay, and that's a great concept in JavaScript. Anyway, so next section is forEach versus map versus filter. Okay, let me quickly clear when to use each method. For forEach, use when you want to perform an action for each element but don't need a new error. Think of it as a replacement for a regular for loop. Okay, and map use when you want to transform every element and create a new array with the transform values. And filter when you want to select certain element based on the condition and create a new array with only those elements. Okay, like this. At first we are filtering the user 30 and above. Then we only map through the username, not all elements together, full object. Okay, and this is a great. Okay, now lastly is the practical example. So let's put everything together with a practical example. Imagine we have an array of products and we want to filter products that are in stock. Then we apply a 10% discount with their prices, and then finally we display each discount product. Okay, and this is a real world example. See, this is our product list. Then we are discount the product first, and how to discount it? We at first we are filtering the product and filter product by in stock. Okay, in stock. Then map through it and only displaying the name and price. Only name and price. Okay. Then we are applying it and then call this discount product with the for each loop based on how many stock, how many products are available based on this in stock. Three. Then we get this three output with the name and the product price. Pretty cool, right? This is the functional programming in action and straightforward. All right. So let's wrap this up. Today we covered the callback function and how they are used when with the array method, forEach for the iterating the without returning a new array, map for transforming the elements, filter for selecting the element based on condition, and chaining methods for clean and readable code. These three methods, forEach, map, and filter, are fundamental to writing the modern JavaScript. You will use them constantly in real world projects. So in the next video, we will explore even more powerful array methods like the reduce, find, sort, and others. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Practice these methods with your own arrays, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.